Hello, dear souls. Welcome to our last Raja Yoga class. Hard to believe, so good to be with you. And we'll start with 15 minutes of warming up the body, getting ourselves ready for practice tonight. James is not here, so it'll just be me leading and guiding you. Let's come up into standing. You do have the option of being in a chair if that's better for you. And what we'll begin with is centering ourselves in Tadasana, standing mountain pose. So bring awareness to your feet. You can move the toes a little bit just to kind of feel the feet. Take some deep, full breaths in and out. And just visualize the breath flowing through the whole body as you come into this moment of centered awareness. I stand ready to obey thy least command. The affirmation for Tadasana, to be ready and awake and fully present to begin. Now we come to the practice of yoga. I stand ready with my heart wide open to receive divine guidance in my life. One more deep, full breath in and out. Very nice. From this centered awareness, let's move into full yogic breath flow. So inhaling, arms up, and just slightly arch the spine as you extend back a bit. Visualize yourself gathering energy in and guiding it down through the body as you surrender and release. When you're ready to come up, the knees can be slightly bent. The hands move in front of the body. Open the arms wide, expand. And continue following your own flow of breath and your own sense of rhythm. Exhaling as you come down and surrender. Inhaling as you rise up and expand. So also tuning into that quality of surrender, release, letting go. Inhaling, rising and expanding. Very nice. One more time, we'll come forward with the exhale. Surrender, release, let go. And then when you're ready to come up, inhale up, expand the arms wide, expand, and then exhale down, around to the side. And we'll bring the hands together to the heart for a circle of light, circle of joy. So inhale, fingers interlace and elbows lift up. Exhale, hands move out in front. Inhale, lift and lengthen, stretch tall. Reach to the sky, release and exhale. Visualize light and joy surrounding you as the hands come down and behind the back. Interlace the fingers, inhale, and release and exhale. Arms float. Palms together, hands at the heart. One more time, inhaling and exhale. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Release and exhale. Light and joy surround you. Hands come behind the back. Inhale, open the heart. Release and exhale. Arms float. Palms together. Hands at the heart. We'll step the feet slightly apart for side-to-side stretching. Let's do this as a flow to begin. So inhale, left arm up, lift and lengthen, and exhale over. You can look up to the sky, and we'll inhale up and exhale down. So before holding the stretch, we just do this a few times. It lets you feel into where's the body today? How does it feel to stretch the body in this direction? Aligning the movement of the body with the flow of breath. Exhale over and stretch. Inhale up. Exhale down. And we'll go to the other side. And exhale. Inhale up. Exhale down. Very nice. This time we'll hold the stretch. So left arm comes up. Lift and lengthen. Exhale. And then rotate the head to look to the sky and keep reaching through the fingertips. See if you can feel that stretch all alongside the body. Reaching and stretching and breathing deeply. And inhale up. Nice. Exhale down. And we'll go to the other side. Inhale up. And exhale over. And rotate and look. Reaching through the fingertips. Keep the breath flowing. And inhale up. Nice. And exhale down. Before coming to the floor, we'll practice using the chair for downward facing dog. So this can be just a nice way when we're warming up the body. It gives you all the nice stretch and everything. It's not quite as intense for the body as downward dog. So hands are on the thighs. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, forward. Hands come out to the chair. Step the feet back. And then bring yourself into a nice stretch for the back of the legs, extending all the way through the spine, down through the arms. Release the head so the ears are in alignment with the upper arms. And take some deep, full breaths in and out. Mentally affirming, calmness radiates from every fiber of my being. Calmness radiates from every fiber of my being. To come out of the pose, we walk towards the chair, bring ourselves back to Tadasana, and just pause for a moment. Few deep breaths in and out. Lifting and lengthening through the crown of the head. Very nice. Okay, so we'll come onto the floor. You could stay in the chair if you like. We'll come into tabletop position for cat-cow. Just going to move the chair back a bit. So hands and knees, we arch the spine on the exhale and sway the spine on the inhale. Flowing with your breath, exhaling into the arch, and inhaling into the sway. You can pause in either direction, so you can hold either position if you like, if that feels good. Exhale into the arch. Inhale into the sway. If you do pause, keep the breath flowing. Exhale. And inhale. Very nice. We'll come back to neutral, bring the buttocks back towards the heels, and we'll come into extended child. So the hands come out in front, and we release the forehead down towards the floor. I relax from outer involvement into my inner haven of peace. I relax from outer involvement into my inner haven of peace. We'll inhale up, bring ourselves into Vajrasana just for a moment. Allow the body to adjust. Just come back and notice, how did Balasana, extended child, feel? Very good. And from here, we'll come onto our back with knees bent, feet on the floor. So James showed you last week how you can do in the chair, you can extend one leg at a time to stretch. On the floor, we draw the knees in towards the body, and you draw them in and out a few times. Rock gently side to side. And then release the right leg and extend and draw the left knee in. And take some deep, full breaths in and out. Release and go to the other side. So draw the right leg in, right knee towards the body, left leg extended. And release. Keep the right knee bent. Flex your left foot and inhale the left leg up. You can keep your right knee bent or extend that leg out. Your hands can be at your side, or you can interlace your hands behind the left thigh to support it. Reach through the bottom of the left foot up towards the sky. Press down with the right foot to keep the right leg engaged. And try to relax the rest of the body and breathe deeply. And then point and flex the left foot a few times. Ankle rotation, rotate the ankle a few times each direction. Lift and lengthen and exhale down. And then we'll go to the other side. So now left knee is bent, right leg extended. Inhale the right leg up. Reaching through the sole of your foot. You can press down a bit with the left foot to engage the left leg. Keep the rest of the body relaxed. And alternate pointing and flexing the right foot. And ankle rotation. A few times each direction. Lift and lengthen and exhale down. Slide that foot up. So gentle side twist. We'll end with that. Arms out to the side. And we'll exhale the knees towards the right. And you can be looking up towards the ceiling or gently lift the head and turn to look over the left shoulder. Deep, full, relaxed breaths. And then we'll inhale, knees back to center, press down on the feet, lift the hips and buttocks, and exhale, knees to the left. And rotate to look over the right shoulder. Keep the breath relaxed. See if you can visualize the breath flowing through the whole body. The body gently opening. This is modified Jatari Parivartanasana, the supine twist. I open to the flow of God's life within me. I open to the flow of God's life within me. Very nice. And we'll inhale, bring knees back to center. Draw them in towards your body. You can rock up and back a little bit. If you like, you can come into happy baby. So just draw the knees down towards the legs are in a wide stance. Draw the knees down towards the armpits. And then release and rock yourself up or come over to your side. Okay. So, nice and warmed up. Nice to be with all those who came for our warm-ups. It's just coming into, I show 6:14. I have two different clocks I'm looking at. So Keshav, it's 6:14 is true, okay. So as we practice tonight, I will alternate. I think primarily I'm going to teach without using the chair, but I will make reference to the chair. So, one of the things that we practice in yoga is modify in any way that you need. We've gone through the whole course together now. It's always a little different for me teaching in this way because the monitor's here, but it's not always on, and I can't always see all of you very clearly, so I really have to rely on you listening to your own bodies and taking good care of yourself. So I'll reference the chair. I'll offer verbally as many modifications as I can think to offer to help you in our practice tonight. So tonight is the last class for the Raja Yoga series, and it's the yogic scheme of life. Lakshmi will be giving our talk tonight. It's really a beautiful last class where it looks at Swamiji in the chapter. It's quite comprehensive. The whole book is comprehensive, but then this last chapter, he really expounds on the teachings. So it'll be, I think, a really delightful lecture for us tonight. And in our yoga practice, one of the things I like to focus on in the last class is bringing together this practice we've been doing of being in our physical body, bringing awareness to our breath, bringing awareness to our consciousness. The whole Raja Yoga course is really a training in that, right? A training of our consciousness, of how to be aware of it and how to work with it, how to work with energy, how energy influences the consciousness, how our thoughts influence our energy, and how our body is also integrated with that. So one of the things that Swamiji talks about is that our asana practice is more than being on the mat. We learn through the practice of the physical postures how to be in our body in a particular way, and part of that is with a lot of consciousness. The other thing that we learn is to be in our body with elevated thoughts, to be in our body with an expanded, relaxed breath, to be in our body with an intention to be receptive to the flow of divine grace. And what happens over time, you may already have noticed this, is that then we begin to be in our body in all those ways off the mat. It happens that we have this integration of the physical body with elevated consciousness. The physical body bringing in the breath as we need it, bringing in energy to support us and throughout our day and all that we do. So as we're practicing tonight, what I'd like to invite you to do is be in the experience in a way that you feel like you can bring this to your whole life. That it isn't just what we're doing in class on the mat, but this is relevant in everything that you do, washing dishes, paying bills, interacting with loved ones, driving the car. Here we are in these bodies, and how do we do it? How do we do it with elevated consciousness? How do we do it drawing prana and life force? How do we do it to be a channel of divine energy? How do we draw energy in so we can be a channel? So that'll be our practice together tonight. We've already done warm-ups. If you weren't able to be in the warm-ups, please go very gently with yourself so that you don't injure yourself in your practice. We'll start in Tadasana. Mountain pose, shoulders are relaxed down from the ears. We take some deep, full breaths in and out, centering your awareness in your body in this moment, lifting the gaze to the point between the eyebrows, mentally affirming, I stand ready to obey thy least command. And this is an inner commitment to your own divine self and to the teachings of truth. I stand ready. To obey thy least command, even a whisper of inner guidance. When it feels true, Tadasana helps us to stand in that and say yes. Very nice. So we'll practice. If you were in warm-ups, we did this already, but we'll just do one or two. Expand into full yogic breath flow. This is a nice way to transition out of Tadasana and into movement. And if you practice this in warm-up, see if you already notice a difference from the first time we began. You're exhaling, surrendering, and releasing. And then you're inhaling up and expanding. And we'll exhale the arms down. And we'll bring the hands to the heart. We'll practice circle of joy once. Inhale, fingers interlace, elbows lift up. Exhale, hands move out. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Release. Visualize light and joy surrounding you. Hands come behind the back, fingers interlace. And release. Palms together, hands at the heart. Very nice. Let's practice Natarajasana, dancing Shiva. And this one is really nice to have a chair for support. So I'm just going to show you how to do that. You don't need to practice with a chair unless you need it, but it can be really nice. So if you have a chair handy. So we stand here. If you have a chair, you can put your hands on the chair. We're going to bring the left foot back, hold the ankle, and then inhale the right arm up. The affirmation is, while I move through life, I remain anchored in my highest self. While I move through life, I remain anchored in my highest self. So if, like with my body, I'm not sure do you just have moments sometimes where the balance isn't maybe what it normally is? So part of the practice is to be undisturbed mentally. While I move through life, I remain anchored in my highest self. So just modify as you need. And I like to play with balance, even if it feels challenging. I like to stay with the challenge. And then we'll come back and pause in Tadasana. And just see if you can sense energy moving, flowing through the whole body. Guide the energy to rise up towards the point between the eyebrows. Feel yourself consciously centered in your highest truth. While I move through life, I remain anchored in my highest self. Very nice. We'll go to the other side. So now we'll stand on the left leg and we'll bring the right ankle back. Hand can be on the chair or you can lift it. Breathing deeply. While I move through life, I remain anchored in my highest self. Just tune into what that feels like. And again, if you're a little challenged, it's fine, because life is a little challenging. So we learn to move through the challenge with a sense of composure and inner strength. While I move through life, I remain anchored in my highest self. Very nice. We'll come out, come back, and pause for a moment. Beautiful. So from here, we'll practice the chair pose, Utkatasana. If you have a chair, you could be facing it and use this to support you. So you can come up on the heels, have your hands here. When you come into the squat, you can use the chair. So traditionally, we rise up on the balls of the feet with the inhale. We hold the breath, bend the knees, and then let the breath flow, keeping the heels slightly off the floor. And usually pretty quickly, you can feel the strength required to maintain the stance. So this pose strengthens the muscles in the legs. It also, when we come out of the pose, opens up a flow, a very strong flow of prana through the legs. The affirmation is, my body is no burden. It is light as air. So you can stay here, or you could come out. You could alternate between this and coming back to Tadasana and resting, or you can come into a deeper squat, the second phase. Inhale, exhale. And the hands can stay in front or come to rest on the thigh. My body is no burden. It is light as air. Keeping the breath flowing. come out, we bring the hands back, sweep up, lift and lengthen, and exhale, arms down. See if you can feel that surge of energy flowing strongly through the body, through the legs in particular. Guide that awakened energy to the spiritual eye. My body is no burden. It is light as air, affirming the deeper reality of our energy body. No sense of burden there. My body is no burden. It is light as air. Very nice. From here we'll come into the triangle pose. With triangle you can use the seat of the chair. I won't do that tonight, but you can use that for yourself. So we come into a wide stance, and you'll turn the left foot out, and you're going to line that up with the instep of the right. If you were using the seat of the chair, it would be here with your left foot. Otherwise, the hand is on the side. So I often bend my knee just a little bit, kind of make sure that my knee's going in the direction of my toes. I bring the torso back to the front. Inhale, arms up, palms together, lift and lengthen. Hands come towards the front. We exhale down to shoulder height. Now I'll tilt the hip and reach with my left arm. I just keep reaching, and basically it's the muscles of the legs that cause me to stop. And that's what I listen for. And then when I'm there, I'll bring the left hand down and the right arm up. Breathing deeply. And if you like and feel stable, you can rotate your head to look up to the sky. Swami Kriyananda said, this pose draws a flood of energy to the body. Joyful energy flows through every body cell. So I like to imagine reaching up to a waterfall of divine energy. The affirmation is energy and joy flood my body cells. See if you can sense that. What would it be like right now to experience this waterfall of energy and joy flooding your body, your consciousness? Energy and joy flood my body cells. Very nice, and we'll inhale and come back. Exhale, arms down. Stay in a wide stance to rest unless you feel that it's better to bring your legs back to Tadasana. Lift and lengthen through the spine with shoulders relaxed down from the ears. Belly relaxed as you breathe. Mentally affirming, and if you can, visualize this flood of energy all around you. Energy and joy flood my body cells. Joy descends to me. Very nice. We'll go to the other side. So now we'll turn the right foot out. Sometimes I walk that foot away a little bit. We line it up with the instep of the left. You can angle the left foot back a little, bend the right knee. So when I bend the knee, sometimes what I'll do then, I'll keep it bent a little and bring my torso back to the front, and then I straighten the leg. And this just helps with the placement of the hips and helps to protect the knees from rotation. So once you're there, you'll inhale, arms up, palms together, lift and lengthen. Turn the hands towards the front and exhale down to shoulder height. Then tilt the hips, and with your right arm reach, and just take your time, right? I just go until I get to a point where I feel like, yeah, that's it. And then I'll bring that arm down, and this time the left arm up. And you can look straight ahead or down to the floor, or if you feel stable, rotate the head to look up towards the sky, reaching up towards that energy and inviting it to flood every cell of your body. Energy and joy flood my body cells. Joy descends to me. With each breath, a welcoming of this joyful energy, divine energy, flowing to you and through you. Energy and joy flood my body cells. Joy descends to me. Very nice. We'll inhale up. Bring arms back to center. Exhale. Stay in the wide stance for a moment. Inhale deeply and exhale. Now we'll come into a wide stance forward bend. I'll also turn to the side to kind of show you that angle. But we're going to hinge at the hips and the hands will be on the thighs and we'll come forward. So nice wide stance, hinging here. Lift and lengthen through the crown of the head. Keeping the hands on the thighs, exhale forward. If you press on the tops of the thighs, you can help lengthen the spine. And you'll be looking down towards the floor and reaching through the crown of your head and your tailbone simultaneously. This opens up the back. It's strengthening for both the muscles of the body, especially the muscles around the spine, which definitely helps us when we go to sit in meditation. But it also helps to increase the flow of energy, the freedom for energy to flow, rather. So then here we'll come into relaxation, exhale, release, and you can slide the hands down the legs. You could bring them in front to the floor, release the head and neck. If the hands don't reach the floor, you can hold the upper arms with your hands. And even if they do reach the floor, you might find that more relaxing. This is called Prasarita Padottanasana, the wide stance forward bend. And it's known for relieving mental tension. The affirmation is, I relax and cast aside all mental burdens. So as you breathe and just surrender into the pose, feel yourself just tossing to the side any mental concerns, any heavy thoughts. I relax and cast aside all mental burdens. To come out of the pose, we bend the knees, slide the hands up the legs, we bring ourselves up and come to Tadasana, standing mountain. I relax and cast aside all mental burdens. Very good. So from here we'll come onto the floor and we'll come into Vajrasana. And from Vajrasana we'll come into Ustrasana, the camel pose. So just as a reminder, you can practice this in the chair. You don't need to be on the floor for this. So Vajrasana, traditionally we take the right large toe and draw that over the left. That's an energy lock, and the hands rest on the thighs. You could sit on a pillow or blanket for support. If that's more comfortable for your body, relax the shoulders down from the ears. Vajrasana, the firm pose, is a pose that draws the energy into the spine, and it stimulates in particular the first chakra. So the root chakra of stability and steadiness. It's very grounding, literally a grounding pose. It's one of the reasons it's so beneficial for meditation, because it's very stabilizing. So even a few moments in Vajrasana can be calming and centering and stabilizing. In stillness, I touch my inner strength. In stillness, I touch my inner strength. Finding that inner stillness and strength within. Very nice. So from here we'll come into camel pose. So coming up on the knees, the hands come to the buttocks, the pelvic rim will draw the elbows towards each other, sliding the hips forward. So inhale, glide the hips forward and offer yourself just back far enough so you feel the arch in your spine. Your hands can remain on that pelvic rim the whole time. Or if you like, you can bring them down to your feet, which is a deeper arch for the spine. So you want to make sure that that feels okay for your body. Visualize yourself bathed in divine light, held and supported, receptive to this light. With calm faith, I open to thy light. With calm faith, I open to thy light. To come out of the pose, we'll inhale back to neutral, bring the buttocks back towards the heels, rest the hands on top of the thighs, come back into Vajrasana for a few moments. Find that inner stillness. See if you can feel the balance between a strong flow of dynamic energy rising through the body, an open, receptive heart to this flow of energy, and a stable, grounded awareness. Inner strength. In stillness, I touch my inner strength. Very nice. From here, we'll come onto our back for a spinal twist. So in warm-ups, the way that we practiced, and if you weren't in warm-ups, it's fine. So you could do the spinal twist in the chair. We've done that many times with the feet on the floor, and you simply rotate the spine in one direction or the other. On the floor, the feet can be side by side, or you can take the left leg and cross it over the right. And the arms are at shoulder height. Inhale and exhale the knees towards the right. I usually take my time, moving slowly. You can be looking up toward the ceiling, or gently lift the head to look over the left shoulder. Keep the breath deep and relaxed. This is Jatara Parivartanasana, the supine twist. The affirmation is, I open to the flow of God's life within me. With each breath, feel yourself opening and welcoming the flow of divine grace. Present in this moment, present in every moment, allowing you to move through life supported by this divine energy. I open to the flow of God's life within me. I open to the flow of God's life within me. Very nice. We'll inhale, bring the knees back to center, uncross. I'd like to press down on the feet, lift the hips and buttocks up, and draw the knees in towards the chest just to lengthen the spine a little bit. Bring it back to neutral, release the feet. Arms come back to shoulder height. Take the right knee now, cross it over the left. Inhale and exhale the knees towards the left. And just take your time and adjust so that you can twist gently, ultimately looking over the right shoulder as the knees come towards the left. With each breath, a sense of releasing and surrendering, and opening to the flow of grace, an awakening of this energy within you. I open to the flow of God's life within me. I open to the flow of God's life within me. And we'll inhale, bring knees back to center, press down on the feet, lift the hips and buttocks. Draw the knees in towards the body. You can rock up and back a little bit. Rock gently side to side. You can come into happy baby, holding the backs of the thighs, the calves, or the feet. We lift the feet above the head and come into a wide stance, drawing the knees down towards the armpits. It's a nice stretch for the spine. Take some deep, full breaths in and out. Release and rock yourself up. We'll come into one more asana, and this can be child's pose, where our hands are at your side and you come down forward, resting into child's pose, or you can come into downward facing dog. So either one is an inverted pose. The child's pose is a little more relaxing, surrendering, releasing. Downward facing dog is a little more active. So if you do that, you turn the toes under, bring the ears in alignment with the upper arms. You could start in downward dog and end in child's pose. I'll offer you both affirmations. So downward facing dog is calmness radiates from every fiber of my being. Calmness radiates from every fiber of my being. Transitioning into child's pose if you like, or if you've come right into child's pose, the affirmation is I relax from outer involvement into my inner haven of peace. I relax from outer involvement into my inner haven of peace. To come out of the pose, you'll bring yourself back to Vajrasana, pausing for a moment. Feel yourself once again centered and grounded. Fully present to this moment, relaxed and dynamically awake. One more deep, full breath in and out. Om, peace, amen. Okay, dear souls, so we'll transition into meditation now. Just bring yourself into a comfortable seat. It's been great to be with you.
No, it's okay. Lakshmi, would you just pull on the camera when I sit in on that chair? Okay. Thank you, Vivekadevi. That was very nice. I'm always amazed at how a little yoga goes such a long way in working out the kinks of your nervous system. Oh, and Lakshmi, you can actually stop the recording now.